This is a love letter to the subreddit Lego D&D. Lego and Dungeons & Dragons are a great combination. If you love the tactical and strategic aspects of battles in Dungeons & Dragons, Lego as maps, as minifigures and monsters can bring a lot to your table, and sharing maps with my party, like putting them on the table for a fight, always excites my players a lot. Lego has just the right amount of detail and abstraction to it that I really like in using for Dungeons & Dragons. I was hesitant with using anything for maps other than a squared paper because I feared that it would take away from the whole imagination, the whole theater of the mind that Dungeons & Dragons brings and makes it so fun and approachable for, I think, a lot of audiences. But when I first saw the first ideas of people online using Lego as maps and terrain and creatures and so on, I really enjoyed that Lego is detailed enough for your players to really find out these fun little things that you've hidden in your maps and in your monsters, and still not overwhelm them with too much realism or detail so that there is no imagination necessary anymore. I think Lego in that regard is really great, and it also brings out this joyfulness, at least for me, because I've played Lego in my childhood. It brings out this nostalgia and this joy when I use it today as an adult. And so I think it's really great in that regard. But when I started out my journey of using Lego for Dungeons & Dragons, I really struggled with two things. I was wondering whether this is even feasible or possible, and if I would be able to come up with all the concepts myself, find enough inspiration online, and that's the second part. Most things I've found in image searches or on forums or even blogs didn't share a lot of the details or the struggles. It was a lot of abstract reposting of existing photos or content, or people sharing their great creations but without any details on how to build them. And for me, getting back into Lego in the same time that I was getting into Lego for Dungeons & Dragons, I really struggled because as a kid I built everything, but there are so many new, or at least for me, new techniques like studs not on top, for example, that are great for building today. But I wasn't aware of these concepts, and so I really felt that this was a big barrier of entry, where to start. And I knew I needed to purchase some new bricks because I didn't have I had a huge collection as a child, but you need very specific parts of Lego, a lot, and so I knew I needed to purchase more, and I didn't know where to start with that. So there were a lot of barriers, at least in my mind. And when I discovered the subreddit Lego D&D, I found a community of around 25,000 people worldwide that use Lego for their Dungeons & Dragons play, and that have so much great inspiration, so much knowledge shared in this subreddit, that I really became more comfortable and more sure that this is something that I could actually pull off and actually incorporate. So I owe a huge thanks to this community, and if you don't know this subreddit yet, check it out. There are great people on there, great builders, Lego builders with huge imagination and with great concepts that they come up with, and also versed Dungeons & Dragons fans that bring a lot of knowledge from that part to the table as well. And I find this community very encouraging as well. So at least I have not seen any trolling or hate on there, which I really which keeps me out of a lot of other communities online. So I recommend highly to check it out if you want to either get into Lego for Dungeons & Dragons and are a huge Dungeons & Dragons fan but not have used Lego, or if it's the other way around, you're you have a good collection of Lego Castle and Fantasy maybe and want to try out Dungeons & Dragons. It's a great community that combines the two and a big source of inspiration for me. They have like people sharing stuff about terrain and maps, which is something that I'm very interested in, but also creatures and party members, people sharing their NPC ideas or character ideas in parties there. So whatever your interest is in Dungeons & Dragons combining with Lego, you'll find big inspiration there. And I really love like rebuilding stuff that I find on there, and also like sharing my own ideas. The idea for starting like a YouTube channel or producing some videos around this topic actually came through this subreddit, because someone asked like if there's a creator covering these topics, and like some people shared videos, but we didn't really find a creator that does this on a regular basis or does a few videos on this topic. So I got inspired, and I want to share on this channel like ideas about how to incorporate Lego in your play, storytelling tips, tips for like using Lego not only in combat map scenarios but also for puzzles and so on. Share some creation ideas, and maybe if people on the subreddit are into that or allow it, I'll share some inspiration from there and talk about it and try to rebuild that. But mostly I want to share my experience in using Lego and the struggles I had, hopefully to help you like skip ahead, not have the same failures as I did, and maybe not sink too much money into it like I might have on some occasions. So I'm really excited to have you along for the ride. Check out the subreddit. I love you guys very much, even if I don't know any of you. It's so great to have some like, I don't know, people on the other side of the world probably into the same stuff that I'm into. It's really great. And yeah, I'm hoping to see you in the next video. Great to have you around, and see you in the next one. Bye.